you guys, welcome back to my channel. So I just want to share with you guys a crazy experience that I went through, and I know that my friend, she meant well, but it was a disaster, and I just want to share it with you guys because you know what, if anyone have ever been through anything like what I'm going to share with you, I would certainly like you to share with me because I just thought it was ridiculous. So anyways, this is the whole story. I was going through a little period of unpleasantry with the school system with my son, and at that time he was a give and take. He was about say he was like about 12 years old, going on 13 or so. And I was explaining these things to a friend of mine that the school system is always in the office, the teacher is always sending him out the class, and he and his teacher just not getting along and all these things. And she's like, I have someone that you can sit and talk to. And I said, really? And she's like, yeah, she's been like a great friend of her family, and also she helped her out for quite a while regarding with her son and also other family issues. So I'm like, wow. I said, that's good because everyone wants to have that friend, that mentor, that's person that they can go to and have that talk with, that can offer some knowledge, some good advice, and especially if it works for them, wonderful. So she gave me the person's number, and I did give the lady a call, and she's like, okay. And she said she'll give me a call to schedule a meeting time. And I said, no problem. So this particular weekend, I was working. After work, I went out to the store because I was going out that night. So I was in the store and I got this call, and it was the lady, and she's like, oh, hi. And I said, hi. I said, oh, I thought you forgot about me. And she's like, no. She knows that she's supposed to give me a call, and she's calling now wondering if I would like to come over to her house. If I have time, I could come over to her house and have that sit down talk. And I said, oh, okay then. And I said, is there anything that you want me to bring? And she's like no, she's okay. I'm on the street, so if I'm going to someone's house, I'll be like asking, do you want me to pick up you something, like to eat? Like, I don't mind sharing because sharing is caring, right, guys? So she's like, no, just come. And I said, do I have to bring you any money? I don't know why. That was something I did not even know why I said to her that, do I have to bring her some money? But I said, you know what, knowing that this lady is going to take her time to listen to me talk about my issues that I'm going through with my son, and with the school system and everything, you know what, maybe even to give her give her a little small, you understand me? I always say, don't take advantage of people's time, okay? So she's like, no, don't worry about that. Just come. You are, such and such friend, right? So she said, oh, I talked to her. She told me all about you. You and her, been friends for a while. So just come. And I said, okay. She gave me her address, and I went by. And guys, look, just listen carefully. I know I kind of speak a bit fast sometimes, but bear with me. I went to this lady's house. I knocked on the door, and she came to the door, and she opened it, and she said hi. And I introduced myself, and she's like, yeah, come on in. So I was about to step into her house, but the first thing she did was she held on to me, and she said, wait a minute. She said, spin around for me, please. So I looked at her at the door, and I said, spin around. And she said, yes, you have to spin around. So the lady hold me at my shoulder, and she at our doorway, she spin me around, like turn me around 360, turn me around 360, turn me around 360. And I'm outside there on her porch, and I'm like, okay. And then she said, okay, come in now. So I'm like to her, when I enter into her house, I'm like, okay, what was that all about? And then, you know what the lady said to me? She said, well, I always do that to people I don't know, because sometimes they're bringing in like bad energy. So she don't want any bad energy coming with people into her home. And I was like, wow, like so superstitious in my head. I'm just saying that to myself. I'm like, okay, that's kind of weird. Never dealt with that before. Never, ever, ever, not with anyone. So it's like, okay, interesting. So anyway, she offered me a glass of water, and I'm like, no, no, no. I'm fine, because that's one of the things with me. I was raised that when you go to people's house, like, don't drink from them, don't eat, so it's something. Anytime I'm going out, I always have my own bottle of water. I always make sure I have something to drink. I always have something to eat into my car. So she said to me that, you don't want anything? I said, no, no, ma'am, I'm fine. Okay. She said, okay, have a seat. Mind you, she have a lovely house. Nothing didn't look suspicious or anything. So I sat down and everything, and she started asking me, so how long I know my friend, the same young lady that introduced me to her. I told her, and everything. So she said, oh yeah, she's been a part of that, young lady life for quite a long time, quite a long time, like many years. It's like basically that young lady mother introduced her to her. So it's like, it's kind of like they're like family friends, right? So I'm like, okay, that's great, So she's like, she sat down at the table with me, and she said, so like, what's going on? And I start talking to her about, like with my son, at school, is always into issues. Like, it just seems so never ending. It's just like, it's so upsetting, disappointing. It's just overwhelming. It was just painful. It's just a lot. You know, mothers, when you have a son raising, especially by yourself, you're trying to do your best, because you know how society look down at single parent, especially black women as single parent. The stigma that goes towards your children, especially a black young man in the school system. I'm telling you, it's here. I'm telling you, it's right here in our school system in Canada. It's so terrible. Even when they're trying to convince you that it's not, a black parent with a black son especially can always tell the difference, and they see the difference of how their child is being treated. So moving forward, she came out, and she just got up, and she went and she got a deck of cards. And mind you, these are not the regular cards that you play Go Fish or anything like that. These were some deck of cards that you could see. These are like what them used to say that them are read people, like those type of cards. And I'm like saying to myself, what are those cards for? And the lady, she looked at me and she said, don't worry about it, man, don't worry about it. She's like, just shuffle the card them for me. I said, shuffle the cards? And she's like, yeah, just shuffle the cards them for me. So I'm like, I don't even know how to shuffle cards. And she's like, that's okay, just cut the cards them and do your best. And I said, okay. So I had the cards them on the table, and I'm there, kind of like shuffle them around, and I piled them back up, and I gave them, and she took it from me. And then this lady started like turning over the cards them on the table and organizing these cards. And I'm like, okay, so are you giving me a reading? And she's like, just watch and see, watch and see. I'm like, just watching her. And then she's, once everything was laid out, then she starts saying to me, like, she starts saying certain things, like ask me about my family, myself, and going on asking me about like some personal information that I wasn't into this, like to give to her, but you know, and she turned around and she starts saying to me that she really cannot pick up anything from me. I said, what do you mean? And she said, when it comes to you, I'm not picking you up. I'm not picking you up. So I said, well, if there's nothing to pick up, that's fine. Wouldn't that be fine? And she said to me, well, I just want to see, more about you. So she said, just hold on a second, I will be back. So she left me at her dining table in front of these cards. And she went upstairs into her, I guess her bedroom or somewhere upstairs. And she came back down about, say, 10 minutes. She left me there at the dining table. And I'm there wondering, what's up with this lady? Where she gone up there gone do? I hope she's all right, because, just invite somebody to your house and then leave them for like 10 minutes, gone do whatever. So anyway, she came back down and she have on like a tie on her head. And the tie look on her head, and I said she do like a stylish wrap or anything, like, you're in your house, you just kind of put on a tie and wrap your head. But she kind of look like them kind of woman that, back home for us, we'd look at them like, say, them a science woman. And I'm there looking at this lady like, okay. And she came back around the table and she sat down there with me in front of me, and she started talking again. And then she started holding her head and she said, me can't pick up anything by you, me can't pick up anything by you. And then the lady started to pat her head. And me, I said, why you bother your head like that for? Guys, I'm Jamaican, so some of the time you're gonna hear my Jamaican come out. And like when we say, we will be like pat the head, but it's like she'll beat her head, and I'm like, what's wrong with you? I said, are you okay? And she's like, I just can't pick up anything on you. I can't pick up anything. So I said, it's okay. That's not a big deal. Like, it's all right. And she go off explaining that she just don't know. But you know what she said? Anyways, what I can do for you, I can definitely, have your son come over, and I can give him like a bath. I say a bath. I say as in bathing my son. And she's like, yeah. I say, no, you can't do that. I say, why would I bring my son to you for you to give my son a bath? I say, my son is like, he's a big kid. He's even giving himself his own shower. So why would I do that? And she's like, no. This is a different bath. So I'm like, okay, what kind of bath is this? And she's like, look, you see, sometimes when you see things is happening into your life and with your children and your family and stuff, sometimes it's just like, some crosses spirit. Maybe somebody already put on and you don't know. So I said, I said, I don't have no enemy. I don't have no issue with anyone. And she said, you don't have to have no problem with anyone, it's just that sometimes these things, it just come about. So I was like, oh. And then she's there explaining. So I said, it's so unfortunate, but I'm not really interested, because I cannot see myself doing that. She's like, no. I do this for so many people, and they always get very good, positive result. I said, really? So hear me now, no? Even for my friend, she's like, oh yes, you could ask her. So I'm like, wow. I said, okay. So she said, yes, man, I can give you. But then she said, but make sure, if I give your son a bath, you need to get one too, and your daughter. I'm looking at her like, what? So you want to give me and my children a bath? I said, well, what is that gonna do? Like, she's like, look at it. Say for example, something is on your son and she bought off, it can come to me or my daughter. So it's best to buy the whole family, so nothing cannot go from one to the next. Me say, wow. So me say to her, how much this bath is gonna be? Like, you're not gonna do this free. And she said, well, price no matter, man, the price no matter. I said, no. Let's be straight up. How much this bath is gonna be now? And she looked at me and she tell me that, said, well, I have to get the ingredients, the stuff them to put into the bath. I said, like, what kind of stuff? So, she started name off, like frankincense, all these different herbs and stuff. And I'm like, okay. So I said, what about if you give me the herbs and let me bring it to my yard and just give me the instruction and I will give myself and my children a bath at my house. She said, no, it don't work like that. No, it doesn't work like that. You have to come. It's a process. So I'm like, oh. I said, and you didn't tell me the price. How much is this going to be? So she turned around and she said to me that, it can run you about, say, 4,600 and a little bit. And me look at her, me say, I'm a single mother. Me say, you know that, right? What me I go find 4,600 for give me and my kids a bath? Me say, are you serious? Me say, people literally come to you and get a bath and pay those the money all the time. She looked at me and she said, so I said, oh my gosh, wow. I said, that is some bath you're giving her your house. I said, okay. So then I said to her that, say, right now, she's like, don't worry about it, man. Just think about it. And then she go back, she start focusing back on the cards them, and then she start trying again, whatever she had tried for read. And I'm there just listening to this lady. Then she go off and she said, do you have someone in your life? I'm say, like, what? Significant other? I said, no, I'm a single mom. And I'm not really dating right now. And she's like, well, you know what? Nobody in your life. I said, not really, I'm not somebody that's out there. Or putting myself out there. I am just somebody that a homebody. I go to work, do whatever I have to do, home. You know what I mean? But I have my friends then when I feel like I can go out and do something with her and come back home. She said, no, man. You see, by the end of this year, I'm gonna make sure that you have a man and he's gonna be your husband. I said, wow. I said, really? So me turned around back to her and I said to her, so you said that you're single. How come you don't have a husband or a man? She looked at me and she said, well, with life experience. I say, I understand because it's not for everybody. And then she just started talking. And I'm the type of person that I like to talk. As you can see, I really do like to talk. And you know what? I'm a good listener. I find myself, I will make a lot of people be comfortable just to express themselves. And it's fine. I'm not here to judge you. I don't have time to do things like that. I like when people feel comfortable to can open up and talk to me because you learn from people and you're hoping someone is learning from you, right? And she started talking about herself, about things that she has been through in the past and all these things, to where she's at the present. So I was just like listening to her, asking her questions, and she was answering them like, seems very genuine and everything. And I appreciated that. She never let me feel like, she wasn't someone that's willing to open up back, And then we were there like about an hour and a half or two, just talking. And she even eating too. She sat down at her table, got, eat something. I didn't eat anything. I was just there, listening to her and everything. It was okay. And then afterwards she said to me so what? You're gonna let me order the stuff them, the ingredients for you for the bath. I said, well, look at it this way. I said, let me think about it. Okay? You said that you have done the bath for my friend. I will definitely talk to her about how this bath procedure go, and I will get back in touch with you. And she said, okay then. Then she said to me, I said to her, okay, well, anyways, I have an engagement to go to that same night. So I'm going to go now. It was a pleasure meeting you and talking with you. And, it was nice getting to know you, right? And she said to me, yes, same to you, too. You seems like a really nice girl. And then she said to me, well, you don't think my service was with you for free? I said, your service, Miss, for free? I said, what do you mean by that? She said, well, me talk to you. Me say, yes, you talk to me and I talk to you, right? And then she said, well, look at it this way. Me go give you a discount because you even listen to me too. Me say, no, I was like your counselor, darling. Me say, I was like listening to you like the two of us were just here talking back and forth. So what do you mean? I said, come on now, let's get this clear. And she said, well, I'm just gonna charge you, me gonna take a discount off. And I said, a discount off what? I said, what are you talking about? I said, get to the point. She said, well, I'm gonna charge you $80 for come and speaking to me. I said, $80? I said, ma'am, when I was out on this road and you called me, I said to you, if you wanted me to bring you something, like to eat or anything, you said, no, thank you. I said, do you want me to bring you any money? I said, what was your response? She said, I know I told you no. So I said, what are you talking about now? She said, well, she normally charge people a fee. I said, you know what? That is something you should have mentioned. So it gave me the opportunity if I want to come and spend $80 or whatever the amount. But you don't tell somebody that no, they can come to your house and then you're going to bring upon them that say, now when they're supposed to leave, oh, you're going to charge them for some time together talking to you. I said no. And she's like, well, I also give you information about yourself. I said, what information did you give me? I said, I watch you there, lick your head, tap. I said, you forgot? I said, you there knocking your head. You didn't give me no information. What information? I said, show me the information. Tell me the information. I said, by the way, remind me the information that you told me. What have you told me that I don't know? So she saw that, said, I was not pleased. So she said, okay. Just whatever then, whatever. I say, yes, you're charging me $80. I say, you know what, let me give you the $80 and get out of here because I don't want no garbage come on me, you understand me? Because I can see what you're about. This is not what I'm about. So I went into my purse, and guys, I'm there digging into my purse and everything, and all I find was $60. And I said, oh my gosh. And I said to myself that I don't have time to go to the bank and come back. But anyways, I said, is the $60 enough? I said, look at it this way. I will give you the $60, but then I will come back tomorrow after work and come give you the $20. So she said, all right then. So you know what this lady do? Guys, this lady went into our kitchen, got a glass, and put some water in the glass and bring the half a glass to me and said, you can put the $60 in there. I said, why would you want me to put the money inside of the water in a glass? I said, I'm handing you my money. I said, what are you trying to say? My money's not clean? And she's like, no, I'm not saying that. I said, so what are you implying? And she's like, no, it's I'm gonna really take money out of people and when them come to me. I said, wait a minute. So you have all of the people them who come to you put their money inside of a glass of water? And she's like, well, yeah, that's how she do business. Me said, You're something else. Me say, how come you don't offer me water and juice for drink in your house? So you wouldn't want people to drink from you, but you're not gonna take the money out of there. And me said, you know what? Okay then. She told me to fold the money and put the money in the water. I did exactly so. And I said, you know what? I'll see you tomorrow after work to come and give you your $20. She said, okay. Guys, when I'm walking back out the lady house, the lady, walked me to her door and I go tell me bye. So I look at her and I said, wait a minute. Turn me around, to spin me around to let me go. She's like, no, that's not necessary. I said, of course it is necessary. I said, what did you say? You spin people around so that if them have any crosses or anything on them, it not come inside of your house. So I said, what you think, say, I want to come into your house and don't get spin around for drop off the crosses that could come up on me into your house, so I don't go back in my house with it. I said, no, darling. I said, let's spin around this. I said, let's do this spin around so I can get out. So I stand up right at that lady door and me start spin myself around. And all she see me, I spin myself around. She's like, oh, it's not necessary. I said, darling, it is necessary for me. And I say, after I done spin myself around, guys, I take myself and I said good night and went right into my car and I drove home. But when I was driving home, I called one of my friends. Oh my God, she's a sweetheart. She's like a sister. I called her on the phone and I'm there telling her my experience. And my friend, she laughed, stay on the phone and she laughed at me. I went straight home and she's still laughing, asked me all these questions of what I been through with this lady. And I tell you, I said, how on earth did I get myself into this? Am I crazy? Guys, it's not to say if I felt like I was mental, but it's like, I'm like, how did I possibly get myself into this? I couldn't even laugh at myself. All I'm there saying, this is really embarrassing. How on earth did I get myself into this situation? So to make a long story short, and I went home, went to my event, go to sleep, get up the next morning early, went to work. I called a lady from work and I said to her, don't forget I'm coming by there after 3. She said, no problem, man, no problem. Sure. I said, okay. After work, guys, I went into my car and I went straight to the lady. Straight there, I went to her house. And I called her number. She didn't answer. I get out the car and I knock on the door. No response. So I said, that's kind of weird. She know I'm coming and she even told me that she's going to be home. And I could see her vehicle was in the driveway. So why isn't she answering her phone? So they're knocking still. I call in her number, no response. And I decide that, you know what? I'm not leaving this house until I give this woman her $20. Because once I give her her $20, that's it. So I went into my car, I sat down into my car and I said, I'm going to sit down out here. I said, by the hook or the screw. I don't know if you're Jamaican hear that before, but I know she's gonna get that money. So it was about, say, 45 minutes, almost an hour, I saw this gentleman come out of her house. So when he came out of her house, I ran up to the door and I said, excuse me. I said, such and such is inside. He's like, yes. I said, could you please go and call her and tell her that the lady that was here last night is here outside. She know that I'm coming and I spoke to her earlier, so ask her to please come out. I have something to give to her. So the gentleman, he went back inside and then she came out a few minutes after, and like I said, she came to the door and she said to me, hi. And I'm like, hi. I said, what happened? I said, you know I'm coming and I've been out here for almost an hour waiting. I said, why you do that? And she's like, oh, you know, I never did think say you was gonna come back. I said, how could you say that? I said, I called you from work earlier. I said, I'll be there after work. I said, what is in that? What is in that? You don't understand. I said, you know what? Anyways, here is the $20 I owe you. You said, like you said, I owe you, right? And she's about to take the money from me. And I said to her, no. I said, no, it doesn't work like that. I said, where is the cup with the $60 that I put in the cup, the glass last time? I said, could you go and get that? And she said to me, no, it's okay, it's okay. You're a very honest person. I said, no, darling, it don't work like that. I said, last night I was into your home, you and I sat down, we had our talks. You understand me? You turn around and you charge me when you said that I didn't have to bring no money to you. And then you charge me and then I have to give you money. Then you didn't want to take the money out of my hand. You wanted me to put it into a glass of water. And now you want me to give you money in. And I said, no, darling. I said, go and get the glass with the money and the water. And I said, let me put this $20 inside there. And she's like, no, you're an honest person. You're an honest person. I said, no, you know what, so? I said, go. I said, go, go get the glass with the water. I said, guys, I was so livid at that time. I even put on my foot at her door just in case if she go want the door for close. It not close today. She go get the money. But she go get the money in the glass of water. That's how strict I was, right? And she's like, okay then, I soon come. And she went into our kitchen, go get this glass with the water. So I said, which part the $60 is? She's like, that's okay, man, that's okay. I said, okay, that's okay. I said, hold out the glass now, let me put this inside here. And she's like, you know, it's not necessary. I say, if last night it was necessary for me to put the money inside of the glass of water, like you said, you don't take money from people's hand. I say, it is very important this evening that you take my money, but you're not going to get this money out of my hand. I'm going to put the money into the water and you're going to go take that money out of that water. And she looked at me and she said, you know, you really is an honest person, because she, you know how many times a lot of people say that you're going to come back and pay and never did. I say, you know what, I don't care about other people. I am not every other people. I am Kenita. So here is your money. I put the money inside of the water and I said, you have a blessed day, you have a blessed life. I said, see you. And she's like, are you going to think about that? But I said, darling, I said, see you. I'm just gone about my business. And that was the end. But guys, I'm telling you, we have to be so careful of the people that we meet outside, because I did not call my friend and tell her anything until a few days after, because I was beside myself. I didn't know how to bring this to her because you know what, number one, she know exactly who she sent me to. The lady already was open to say she give her bath with her child too. So I'm like saying, if this is the type of lifestyle she live, where she go and she get bath for take off whatever crosses or whatever them feel like say upon them, and this woman has such enough power to put back. I don't have no idea, but me say not today, not with me, and not with my children. So anyways, when I get to talk to my friend and I said, why you send me to this lady? She's like, what? She's such a nice woman, everything. Did she tell you anything that you didn't even know? That was, you know, like you could say she was helping you with. I said, no. I said, that woman couldn't even tell me not one thing that I don't know. I said, let me tell you something. Your woman friend go upstairs into her bedroom or wherever upstairs in her house and come back with her head tie up and then sit down there at the table and they lick her head all over the whole place. I said, what kind of nonsense is that? I said, you sure she alright? And she said, really? And I said, yeah, really. I said, she tell me nothing. And I said, you know the worst thing on top of it? When me leave, the woman turn around and ask me for $80. $80. And I said, when I go now for go give the woman, I didn't even have the whole $80. And when I give her what I have, she let me put it in her water. I say, what's up with this lady? I say, how come you could sell me to somebody like that? I say, you know that I don't deal with those type of living. You know, some go to my church. I say, come on now. I say, this woman even now cut scripture in her house, like say, she's a woman of God. I say, let me tell you something. You know, say, it grieve God when you're there, I go say that, say, you're mixed up in a dirtiness. And then you're going to say that, say, you're worshiping. I say, I'm going to do that. I say, when you said that you are going to let me see somebody, I thought she was like a mentor, a counselor. I say, I never did know say she is supposed to be a spiritual advisor. I said, so you won't call she? Or what? Is she a hobby a woman? I say, come on. I say, she working for you guys. I say, you know what? It's good to know. But I said, I don't have no interest. I said, by the way, she told me that said she wanted to buy my child and myself for almost $5,000, $4,600. Can you believe that nonsense? I say, that you shell out to this woman for give you and your child bath? I say, you make this woman get rich for giving a bath? I say, are we doing this at this time in this stage of time? I give out, shell out them the kind of money. I say, oh, no, not easy. I say, darling, if you don't have no use for your money, I say, bring it over here. I could put it to good use. You know, I figure because I say, what she have done for you make you any better. I say, you shell out thousands of dollars for this woman for giving a bath. I say, wow. I say, anyways, I say it was an interesting experience, but I said, next time, make sure that say you let whosoever you're going to introduce this lady to, let them know what they're going in for so that individual can choose if they want to go forward. But I said, what you just did, you were very sneaky, and that showed me the type of friend you are. I said, that was very deceitful to me. I said, I don't appreciate it. I really don't appreciate it, and I'm disappointed with your behavior. So she's like, oh, she apologized and stuff like that. I said, that's okay. Mister, you have a good night, and me just end it like that with my friend. To be quite frank with you, after that, guys, I cut her. I cut her off. I cut her off. I know that somebody may say, well, you know, you shouldn't have done that. I look, when I see that me and you is not on the same page, and I classify you as a friend, and you can do something like that, you're not a friend to me. You weren't even looking at me as a friend. So I don't have time to deal with people like that. I cut you. It's over. It's okay. It's not a big deal, because you can see that the friendship did not mean anything to her. So that is the end. I don't have any more friendship with her. So guys, that is my crazy experience I been through. So if anyone have been through anything like that, or even more crazier than that, do me a favor, comment, share, okay? And don't forget to subscribe to my channel and to share, and have a blessed day. Bye.